Morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special on this Monday, the Christmas week. Very excited. Very excited. I'm Chris Burdick. That is Sparky. Sparky, good morning.
Good morning.
Let them know what they're in for. Whoa, what was that?
Good morning.
My God. Are we sick again?
No.
Okay, thank God.
No. Just a long weekend.
I think it's being passed around, dude.
Yeah, I dropped off my son after we've been sick for a week or two, and then I get a text this morning. I'm not feeling good, Dad.
Oh, no.
I'm like, dude, don't bring that crap. Don't bring that
He's
crap
like,
on
I
for
just
Christmas.
got over this.
I'm like, come on. But no, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
Okay, good. What are we in for today?
We got a jam-packed show. I mean, we had tons of sports over the weekend. We can get into the old Logan Paul fight, Jake Paul fight. I get them mixed up. But either way, we'll get into the Friday night fights over on Netflix. We'll get into the college football playoffs, NFL. Of course, we're going to sprinkle in. We're Early Bird Special. We're going to sprinkle in some wrestling, a insane SmackDown on Friday that's going to set up some other stories. Tyson Hayes will be joining us at 8 o'clock ahead of the open mic night at Firehouse. And then we'll wrap up our show with our boys Snacks talking a little NBA right here. And you can also call or text in anytime to 661-842-2000.
Have we checked the phone lines?
It is barely working, but it is barely working.
Okay. All right. Well, text in 661-842-2000. For sure, we could see those. And your comments down below on YouTube and Twitch. Feel free to chime in at any point in time. We will get to them when we can. There was a ton of football to get to. And not only did Jake Paul get his jaw broken over the weekend, like Sparky said, but another internet influencer that everybody hates also got his butt handed to him, which was also fun to watch. Maybe we'll get into that as well.
Silva!
That was cool. Seeing that man still got it at 50.
I don't care with that guy.
I don't care who he's fighting. We were just talking about Mike Tyson and being in his 50s and not being the same guy. Anderson Silva is still that man. He is still one of the most fearsome fighters on the planet. I could not believe what I was watching. That was
one
awesome.
of my all-time favorite fighters, and he still's got it, man.
It pains me, though, that we'll never see him in an octagon again, especially after that leg break, dude. That was ugly. So I am happy to see that he at least can hold up in a boxing ring. Maybe he can, tie around Woodley, let's be honest. But hey, it was still fun to see. He got a good payout out of it. I mean, and we got to watch Jake Paul get his jaw broken, which we all knew was going to happen. We had our guys in here from.
I didn't see the alligator.
The alligator was in the stitching.
I was like, where's the alligator? I was telling people pumping it up.
The Hulkamania part of it was alligator skin.
Okay.
It was all gator skin.
I guess I was expecting some big whole alligator type deal.
No. No, I'm sorry. No, that's why I said go to his Instagram, because you'll see pictures of it and video of actually how it was made and where the alligator is. But no, the Hulkamania, the yellow, all of that part. And I think even some of the side stripes were alligator as well. It really didn't matter. Because again,
he got knocked up.
He's the ultimate troll. He's the ultimate troll. Let's be honest, because that's all that fight was another troll. And everybody's arguments and everybody's frustrations with the fight, absolutely 110%. I agree with you. I could not believe what I was saying. But then again, I knew this is what was going to happen. I mean, again, I sat here with Joel and Martine, and both of them agreed. I know Sparky agreed as well. We knew he wasn't going to win. Nobody knew he was going to win. And I had a feeling he was going to have to go the Mayweather route of just running around everybody. But he doesn't have the stamina to do that. And unfortunately for Jake, his feet stopped working after a while, and it led to a wide open punch to the jaw. And we all know what happened after that. And we're going to see more and more fights of Jake continuing down his boxing career. Whether he ever gets the respect he deserves or not, probably will never happen.
Even the announcers.
Yeah. No,
going into the fight, we're like, dude, we respect you. We're calling you a boxer. Just
stop it.
Just stop, man, because this one is not going to go well.
I think the only one that actually gave him credit that he could get to the fourth round was Muhammad Ali's daughter. Everybody else was saying he was going to get knocked out by round 2. I was like, wow, the disrespect is crazy, but I kind of get it, because one placed punch, as we've seen from Anthony Joshua, is going to knock him out, or at least knock him to the ground.
$92 million.
It's a good payday.
Break
It's a
my
good
jaw. Go
payday.
ahead.
And guess what? He's walking away with all that money. He's going to continue doing this, whether people want him to or not. So it is what it is.
Overall,
Netflix.
I mean, there was 4 fights.
Yep.
I thought two good fights.
Oh yeah. I mean, the women's fight right before that was fantastic to watch as well. I wish, it kind of went a different direction because we would have got a more exciting fight out of it. But there were moments where I was pretty entertained with the entire card in general, like we were talking about with Silva. Silva was the highlight to me.
Yeah, it was the same to
That
me,
was
and I was
great.
looking forward to him. That was one of my favorites growing up. But just overall, as a fight night on Netflix, I mean, how do you think they did?
I mean, it was better than the Tyson fight. It didn't drop out on anybody. We didn't have the server issues. So we're at least figuring out live sports better on streaming services. That's one way to look at it. As a fight card in general, B,
Really?
C.
A B? Yeah, I was thinking about
because I
a
was
C.
going to say, we're not going to be talking about this forever.
No.
I mean, outside of people using this as a meme against Jake Paul for the rest of his life.
I had more fun with that. But yeah, I mean, having his brother Logan show up and having his back.
And look, I've said it on this show a couple times, the respect that I have grown for both the Paul brothers,
of course,
especially for the $0 marketing that they really run. But why are you John and Anthony Joshua between the rounds? Why are you trying to snatch his chain off his neck at the end of the fight? Are you trying to get knocked out? You're a WWE wrestler now, bud. You are a new father too. I don't think you need to be starting stuff with anybody. And you're the older brother, I also want to point out. Let's not make Jake look like the smarter and more well-rounded one. Like, I love him as a wrestler. I really do. He's the ultimate heel. And we'll get to some wrestling here at the second half of the show because something happened outside of WWE's main roster, I will call it. That was really interesting over the weekend. And it includes a man that we have been waiting to see in the main roster for a long, long time. So we'll see what happens. But I just could not believe what I saw from Logan. I was just like, dude, you are just asking for Joshua to say, "Oh, you want to take round 2? I'll just have your brother take his gloves off and we'll show you how quickly you'll be locked out of here too."
Line him up.
It's just no. I could not believe what I saw. But it was a fantastic fight in general just because we all got to see what everybody wanted to see. Everybody just wanted to see Jake get knocked out. Everybody got what they wanted. So I mean, in that right, that's why I give it a B because I mean, at least it ended on a high note for most people.
Yeah, and a big shout out to our boy Kyle and the Dionysus crew because I was able to watch that game while watching the Miami Heat lose on Friday night, and on the other channel had the college football game on. So
I know it. And
I was pumped.
let's start with
aside from that, because I really didn't want Alabama to come back and win. But is this something? I mean, you're more into college football. Even the guys that were at the bar were saying, dude, it's not over.
No,
it's not over.
100% not. I mean, I was sitting here watching it with our guy Rand Dizzle before I left as well to watch the Jake Paul fight more because I made the mistake of thinking, okay, well, Oklahoma's up 17-0, second quarter. This could get out of hand, but you never know. I will keep this on the back burner, so I had it on my phone while the fight was going. But even I did not see 34-7 on the other end of this. Ty Simpson, my God, man. If he isn't a first round draft pick yet, he is now. Whether they win this next game or not does not matter. Taking on Indiana is going to be fun. I love the matchup just because it's Coach Cignetti against Coach DeBoer. It is, in my opinion, the next Nick Saban against Nick Saban's favorite team. They're not Nick Saban's team anymore because it's not anywhere close to being that kind of an Alabama, even within the locker room, from what I understand. But I still was incredibly impressed. And to do all of that against one of the nation's top defenses, impressive. Very, very impressive. So they have a shooting chance at beating Indiana. They really do. If the Hoosiers don't come with every bit of momentum and curiosity that they have in the regular season, we could see an upset in Alabama moving on. We really could. Now, the big question, though, that has come out of the NCAA since this first round is kind of what happened on Saturday, which we all saw coming, but no one really wanted to see. but it's the fact that Oregon blew out JMU. What was it, 51-34 or something of that nature? And kudos to JMU for scoring 28 points in the second half and at least making the scoreboard look nice at the very least. But you were down 48-6, I believe, at one point, and yeah, we all turned it off after that. And Tulane, thanks for showing up, bud. Like, thank you. I love the story of your starting quarterback being the BYU kid that was trying to redeem himself after the whole premarital relations thing and getting shipped out of there. And, the story of him making it instead of the team that shipped him out of there too. That was, I mean, vindication, I guess. But now we're all sitting here looking at two games that probably shouldn't have happened. Notre Dame fans feel a little more vindicated because they are sitting there saying, really, you left us out, but you put these two jabronis in there. And honestly, rightfully so, because to be honest, BYU and Notre Dame probably would have put up a better game. I don't know if they would have won, but they would have put up a better game. So the main question going into this now, and kudos as well to Miami for pulling off a win against Texas A&M. Unfortunate for Bolt because I know Bolt was high on those guys, but I was shooting at the time, literally, and could not believe that I had heard holy hell 3. I thought 10-3 was the halftime score. I really did. But kudos to Carson Beck and the U for making it happen and proving that they at least deserved the spot in this college football playoff. But the question now is, what do we do about the non-Power 5 teams? Because if you look back at statistics, and as much as everybody loves to say we love an underdog story, it just doesn't happen that often in football. I didn't do this research, but I saw something over the weekend that made me scratch my head. In the last 100 games, Sparky, between a team of non-Power 5 against a Power 5, what do you think the record is in the last 100 games?
90-10.
You're close. 18-82. Power 5 schools win 82% of the time. And there really hasn't been a huge win for a non-Power 5 school in the last couple of years against a Power 5 school outside of maybe Northern Illinois last year against Notre Dame. But that doesn't really, again, we're talking more when it matters in the college football playoff. So now everybody is wondering, should we just make different tiers? I think I heard Champ Bailey talk about this. Should we just not have, kind of like we do in high school, divisions? And I know you have it in college. I know there's D1 colleges, D2 colleges, and it would kind of be the same thing here. We can have multiple tournaments instead of a whole ton of bowl games. Why don't we have essentially what
Pool A, Pool B type thing?
Yeah, kind of. Or like, how the NCAA basketball has with the March Madness tournament, and then there's the, oh gosh, I forget the name of it, the NIL, NEL, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, the secondary tournament.
The ones that no one watches?
Yeah, I mean,
saying,
I hate to say it, but no disrespect, but
Yeah.
you guys still get money. You still get to get in a tournament, and the champion of that tournament,
playing.
Yeah, you still get your postseason. So
That's the ESPN Ocho.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Like, why don't we make it top 12 teams for college football playoff? Or if you want to extend it to 16, that's great too. And then we can have a secondary tournament where maybe the next 4 of the top 5 schools go in, and then everything else is non-Power 5 schools.
I'm glad you brought that up because even in the morning show, I was going to bounce this off you. They thought they definitely need to change up something, but they didn't want to take away the Cinderella side of it.
Right.
But they said, what if we put in, 64 teams, but put it into double elimination? So if you do get knocked out by a team, yes, it is, and it'll start in probably a month, 2 months before. But
you would be cutting out half of the regular season.
But if a team like, just for example, Tulane was able to, they lost to a big team in the first round, but they were able to go into that loser bracket and win out. And now they can get into the championship, but they have to beat not the team once, but twice. I'm like, man, that is a lot.
That's a lot
of sports, which I'm not going to take away from it, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of revenue. That's a lot of referees. I mean, that's a lot of games.
And that's a lot of football. And as nice as that sounds from a fan's perspective,
Of
yeah,
course.
heck yeah, more football.
Mhm.
From a player's perspective, no.
You talk about no
Hell
legs.
no.
You talk about
Like,
Jake Paul and no legs.
no kidding. Like, these kids' careers would be cut in half. Like, no, the likelihood of serious injuries would skyrocket. It wouldn't work. Like, I get what they want, but that's a little much. That's a little too much. I think that just a thought of a second college football playoff. Like I said, as much as we all love to sit there and say, "Oh, bowl games are still fun to watch." Not really. How many of you have actually sat down and watched one of the bowl games right now that are currently going? How many of you even knew there were bowl games going right
I
now?
didn't.
Like, there were a handful last week that we didn't get to because not a lot of people care about the teams that are playing. No disrespect, but it is what it is, and nobody's really paying attention to that. We're all watching the college football playoff. So why would you not have a secondary tournament for all of these people in the bowls? You can still incorporate each game as a bowl game, just like you do now, and everybody get, or I shouldn't say everybody, but the teams that didn't get to the college football playoffs still feel like they at least reached something. Your Vanderbilt, USC, BYU, Notre Dame, all these teams, Utah could have had a second shot at a better, payout for them in terms of a, postseason. And you get even more revenue and recognition from every single win you would have in that tournament. I don't know. Again, it's stuff that's going to be thrown around in the meetings in January anyway. I guarantee you by mid-February, we're going to be talking about a 16-team college football playoff, if not bigger than that. And that's how they're going to justify keeping the non-power 5 schools in, because then they'll get 2 bids or something like that, just like they did this year. But now we get 14 of the top teams in the power 5 schools instead. And they're going to find some way to keep it the way it is. But I liked the idea of a secondary tournament thrown around. If you do it in other college sports, why not in football? And it's also, just like you said, Sparky, a good way to create revenue for everybody still in terms of marketing. All of your teams still get a lot of television time, even though, like you said, maybe won't be as many viewers, but fans of those teams will still feel like they have some sort of postseason push. And I think that'd be a great thing for everybody. But again, we'll see what happens when all of this gets talked about in the no, I'm sorry, I think it's mid January is when they're supposed to sit down and talk about when they're going to expand this thing. Let's take a break real quick. We'll get to all the NFL stuff on the other side. We had 2 exciting games on Saturday for different reasons, but it is what it is. It was a post boxing match, apparently. And we had a whole bunch on Sunday as well, including one of the most bizarre endings to a football game I've ever seen. I really kudos for the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers for at least making their games entertaining. That's all I'm going to say. Let's take a break. This is the early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back.
Now, before we get into all that, we got a couple texts going off the topics we got into earlier. And the first one said, Andrew Silva is a freak.
He is. He's a freak.
He'd be kicking butt at 50. I hope to just get out of bed without pain by 50. And
50 years old, man. He's whooping guys 10 years younger than him, but it was so much fun.
I want to
was
fight.
like,
I want to see
wow.
him fight Tim Shamrock. Next.
Oh, right. It'd be great. But again, I don't necessarily want to get into the work of,
Yeah, we get enough of that already. The next one says, I was hoping JMU shocked the world, beating the Ducks.
Everybody was.
I have Indiana, Texas Tech because of their D, Georgia, and Ohio State. The best game should be the Red Raiders versus the Ducks.
Oh, 100%. That's going to be so much fun. 4 and the 5 is going to be a lot of entertaining offense to watch, really. And I'm curious if the Heisman hopeful Rodriguez is going to have a big hand on the offensive side of the ball, just as he does on the defensive side. They like to use him in different ways. It's a lot of fun to watch. But I don't know, man. I'm telling you, that Alabama Indiana game, as much as I love Indiana and I want to say they will skate to the championship, this is going to be a rough going. I really think they would have had an easier shot at the chip if they were facing Oklahoma.
Go Georgia.
Go Georgia. Go Dogs.
Rough.
That
damn commercial. There's a commercial.
Oh, are you talking about the one where they're all he's like barking at his boss?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that one loses me every time. But I mean, we can get into the NFL. Let's get into the earlier games because I mean there was some crazy games Saturday as well. But the
29. Okay, that's the number I want everybody to remember, is the number 29. Why are you going for it why are you going for 2? Why? Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. You're wrapping up the entire division. You might as well just have fun with it. But that's insulting. That is so insulting. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you didn't watch the NFL on Saturday, the first game of the 2 was Philadelphia and the Washington Commanders. Now, we all know the Washington team was much better last season. They've had a really bad year in terms of injuries, and they've kind of just washed their hands of it and said, nah.
Yeah, this year's over.
Yeah, this year's over. We'll try next year. The Eagles were still technically jockeying for that division title with the Cowboys. All they needed was a win. And they were going to get it in this game. Marcus Mariota didn't even have over 100 yards passing. This was an ugly game. So why are you going for 2 and causing issues, thus leading to an all-out brawl between the defense of the Commanders?
It's the best part of the game.
And even to the point where Deebo Samuel, I think, was on the field and getting into it with this team. I
didn't understand
why
what they were doing.
I know Sirianni is known for being hard. I say hard-headed to be nice because I can't say what I want to say on the air, or I can't say the word. It's not anything super bad, but you get what I'm saying. But going for 2 when you're up 2 scores already, I don't get it. Were you thinking analytics? Oh, if we're up by 19, it's less likely we get beat if we're up by 18. Someone's got to explain that to me. You really do. But it led to an all-out brawl between the 2, and now you're going to be facing punishment from the league because some of these guys are going to be suspended. Granted, it's the last 2 games of the year. You already wrapped up the division, so now Philly's probably like, yeah, we were going to sit you guys anyway.
Go ahead, bench them.
If I'm the NFL, nobody's listening. If I'm the NFL, I suspend them for the playoff game. Just saying. Because what's the point in suspending him for the last 2 games of the season? What's the point?
Cash.
I mean, true. Fair.
Get them at their pockets.
But we have two instances of fighting this weekend. We've had multiple instances from Philly of unsportsmanlike conduct situations.
We kicked off the season with it.
You got to do something. And I get it. The Eagles are everybody's bad guy right now. They're the champ going back into the playoffs. So they're the one with the biggest target on their back. and they're the big villain of the NFC. I get it. But we can't be allowing them to start fights. And that's what this was. Let's not make if you could sit there and say, "Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal." Going for 2 in a game where you know you're going to win, that's so disrespectful on so many different levels. We don't allow that in high school football, let alone professional.
The Patriots used to do that to my own Dolphins when all those Brady years. They'd be up by 25 and go for 2. I'm like, these guys, dude, it's going to come up. Karma's going to get your ass.
It is. And that's what I'm saying. So, personally, I know they won't. Don't get me wrong. I know it's not going to happen. They're just going to suspend some of the defenders that threw punches probably for next game. And then we're all going to just go back to being, the Eagles are going into the playoffs in 2 weeks. We understand that. But if the NFL really wanted to stop some of these guys from doing this dumb stuff, including DK Metcalf, which we'll get to in a second, you got to put bigger teeth into this.
Yeah, and even in the evening game, which I feel so bad for my wife because her fantasy team pretty much relies on Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
And they both left the game. Well, one was for an injury, which was a tough hit to the head. And the second one was just from fumbleitis. And that Packers-Bears game was probably one of the best games from the weekend. And not only did they lose Jordan Love, but we got to see Malik Willis, which I remember him in Tennessee, and I was always wondering where the hell he went. And I forgot that they traded late for him last year. And this kid looks good, man.
Dude, he came out and balled out. He really did. The first, time I've seen him in quite some time. Did he look great passing? I mean, jury's kind of out on that one, but he's not really known for being an amazing pass-throwing quarterback. He's more of an athletic guy who can run. But he did. He managed that game very well. It took Chicago 2 miracles to really pull it off, but it happened. And again,
which one was crazier? The onside?
The onside kick is
because I haven't seen an onside in a while, and poor Romeo Doubs.
I was watching it with family at our Christmas gathering, and honestly, I looked up at my brother-in-law and my brother and said, "Is that the first one this year?" Because I honestly don't remember there being one this year. There was one though. We had looked it up. It was back in week 13 against with the Saints and the Giants. But I just having that go their way is when you knew. Although I did sit down and they were both saying that Caleb was getting outplayed and whatnot, which he absolutely was at the time. But it's the NFL. As I said, just sit down, relax. These things happen all the time and things go different ways. And a 42-yard bomb to DJ Moore, which is probably the prettiest pass he had all day, as my brother-in-law would say, it sealed the deal for him. And Chicago's magic continues to go on. I'm not shocked, though, because, again, with this game, as you said, the top 3 players for the Packers were out. Parsons out already with an injury. Jordan leaving with a concussion. That needs not be said. And Josh Jacobs being benched at the late part of this game. Also dealing with some injuries himself, but didn't really matter.
My question was the announcers saying that was targeting, that they hit Love on purpose. And I was like, I didn't see it watching it live, but I mean, these teams have a history.
It's hard to say.
I wouldn't say that he was going after his head.
Unless it is blatant, and I mean like blatant, it's hard to say anymore.
Right.
It really is. Because, I mean, we see hits on quarterbacks all the time where I'm sitting there scratching my head like, you knew that ball was out of his hand. Why'd you continue to hit him? And that happens literally every single game.
Every game.
So it's hard to say if it was targeting. I'm never going to actually go out and say that a player is going to try to hurt another player, no matter what the long history is between the two teams. They didn't play back in the 70s. They didn't play back in the 60s.
Right, they don't have any.
And just like the NBA, this era of athlete, they are more friends than enemies and will continue to be that. That's why we covet so many rivalries so often, because we never see them anymore. The Sherman and Crabtree era, legendary.
Yeah,
Lattimore and Evans, legendary.
Yep. Andre Johnson.
Exactly.
Cortland Finnegan,
legendary. Why? Because we never get them anymore. So it's a different kind of game today. I will never go out and say that an athlete was targeting another athlete to get him out of the game.
I will
Plus,
say it was a hell of a pop, though.
oh, it was a hell of a
Oh, man,
pop.
I had the surround
And
sound on pop. I was like,
I
damn,
feel
homie.
for Jordan because now not only will he most likely not get a chance to play this week, because that's kind of how the NFL's concussion protocol has gone, but this is the most pivotal point for the Packers this season. If they lose out, they're out. They're not making the playoffs. And honestly, if you lose out and have this entire season go down this way, oh my Lord, are you going to be disappointed? Especially since you made all the moves in the offseason to get Parsons. I mean, it seemed this year everybody was talking of Jordan to be an MVP caliber player, which again, I think he could be if he reaches that potential ceiling that he has. But until we see that, I can't say that it's
And it
going
could
to
happen, man. They're home against the Ravens this coming week,
right.
and then they finish out the season in Minnesota.
And the
Minnesota's
Ravens
playing hot right now.
I can't believe the Ravens. I really can't. That game last night had me absolutely furious, but we'll get to that.
We'll get into those other games. We got Daily Dave on the line talking
Sir,
about this Jordan Love hit.
how are you, sir?
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas to you. I just thought there was some really hard hitting going on with that Chicago team. And I don't want to use the word targeting, but they were definitely trying to put the hurt on everybody they hit.
Well,
every tackle, every block.
That's what you should be doing.
It's a right, yeah. It's an interdivision game. I mean, I can't necessarily say that Chicago is hitting the Packers any less than say a Raven would hit a Steeler. You know what I mean,
you're
and
right.
vice versa.
You're right, but the first hit on Jordan before they knocked him out, the guy drove him into the ground.
Right.
And they didn't call it, or maybe they did call it, but it's just an observation I made. And kudos to Caleb Williams. Great. I love him at UFC. He's showing what he's doing, kind of like Trevor Lawrence now. They're coming out. Took Trevor like 5 years, Caleb too. All kudos to them. But it just felt like the intensity was really up for this game.
Oh, yeah.
And
again, late in the season, they're both jockeying for positioning in the playoff. And honestly, it was a must win for both of these teams. They still almost pulled it off too. I mean, if the Packers get into the end zone once in between the third and fourth quarter, this game would have gone a completely different direction. But to say that one team is targeting another or going out to hurt the other team, I don't know for sure. I can't honestly say that I trust anybody saying that there's legitimate targeting anymore.
I didn't see it.
But then again, I mean, I say this all knowing that the Saints at one point had a bounty gate. So we really don't know what happens behind the scenes in a lot of these locker rooms. Let's take a break real quick. We'll get to all the other stuff that happened in the NFL. DK Metcalf getting into it with a fan on the sideline. At first, it was said that it was a Steelers fan. After watching the video again, that is clearly not a Steelers fan, but we'll get to that as well. And we'll talk about the game last night as well. The Patriots pulling it off and ruining the Ravens' playoff hopes. And honestly, every bit of blame should go on John Harbaugh. All of it. And I'll explain why.
Fire him.
This is the early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGO Sports Talk, 101 FM, 12:30 a.m. Also join us video stream every single day on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Look up Early Bird Special. We'll be right there. Let's get into the Sunday games of the NFL real quick. There's a handful of talking points we got to get to, and no, Buffalo dang near throwing it away to Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland is not one of them. I don't even want to talk about that.
Shedor's got to get rid of the damn ball.
Yes, he does, but he made some plays that I was very impressed with. I think there's just some minor tweaks that'll go away with more repetition.
I mean, he's a rookie.
He's absolutely a rookie. And I have to give kudos where it is due as well. Give the flowers to one Justin Herbert. Wow. The game he had against Dallas, the Cowboys, I didn't see it coming. I really didn't. All of that with the plate in his hand. If he plays like that, they really can make it to the championship. I will take back everything I said. The Chargers look scary if Herbert can continue to play like he did on Sunday. But let's talk about the three major things that happened. One being that Detroit-Pittsburgh game. The wildest ending to a football game I've seen in some time. Now, this is all coming off the back of the Steelers pretty much dominating this game from point A to point B. I had a buddy text me late on Saturday asking who he should start between Bourne and Gainwell. I told him Gainwell because Gainwell was the one that was getting the majority of the hands, or the majority of the touches, I should say. And for the most part, I was right until those two massive touchdown runs from Warren. And then I said, oh, sorry, buddy. I guess you should have started both. Who could have saw that coming against Detroit's defense? But for Detroit to come back and make this a game at the end, and then give us that wild play. First off, don't know what Amon-Ra St. Brown was thinking. Why he ran 12 yards into the end zone, decided to shoulder check his corner into the stands, and then run back out of the end zone to catch the ball, get hit by the safety, drive his feet, throw the ball back up to Jared Goff, who then grabbed it and jumped into the end zone for a touchdown, which looked like it was going to be the game-sealing play for the Detroit Lions and to win the game.
And that was not the only pass interference he got in that drive.
No. And then here comes the Zebras. And they say, no. That's not going to be allowed. Because obviously that was offensive pass interference to start the play by St. Brown. And by rule, it is in there, by rule, you cannot use replay to do anything about the clock or anything about that play, period. It has to stand, thus ending the game.
I didn't think you can end a game on a penalty.
There are very rare instances, but offensive pass interference is one of them. Yeah, you can. And that's ultimately what we got at the end of this one. Keeping the Pittsburgh Steelers alive and honestly continuing Mike Tomlin's winning career and most likely career in Pittsburgh. Because at this point, I don't think you can fire him. I don't think you can. You won the division. What else do you want from the guy? I mean, yes, you would like a playoff win. I realize that. Don't kill us. I realize that Pittsburgh wants a playoff win, if not a Super Bowl. But with the team he's got right now, he got you at least to 9-8.
I don't know what else
else you want from Mike Tomlin,
because that team does not look like it's going to do much.
No,
but they find ways to win.
Jack Sawyer too. You got to find ways to get that boy on the field, man. I know he's the backup to TJ right now and is probably learning a ton from TJ Watt.
But my question is more of Detroit.
Yes. What are we going to be doing with this? They have to win out now and hope that the Packers lose out, which again, we just told you in the last break could potentially happen for the Packers. I've tried to tell you guys a couple weeks ago.
There's a lot of what ifs, but this Detroit,
do they have
even the offense? I mean, it's frustrating because one week it's St. Brown and Gibbs, they run all over, and it just looked like, I mean, there was a couple bad passes from Goff, obviously with Pittsburgh's D breathing down his neck, but it just, I don't know, it's a lot of these teams. That's why it's such a bobble when it comes to who do you think is going to win?
Mhm.
You know, we've seen it from the Rams. We've seen it from these big teams, which, you know, this team should be rolling over teams. I know they had a tough defense. There's a lot of coaches gone, blah, 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 blah. But this was a big game that they needed, and they fell short.
Again, and again, easy answer to all of this is what it looks like when you don't have 3 bona fide head coaches on your coaching staff. That's the easy answer for everybody. You no longer have Ben Johnson. You no longer have an Aaron Glenn to help Dan Campbell with the play calling and what they should do late in games. Because that's a lot of what we saw last year was them able to come back late in games and make these wins count. A lot of that could be attributed to Ben Johnson's offense, which we're seeing in front of our eyes with Chicago. So it really, that's the easy answer. I think the harder answer, though, is the fact they just don't have the leadership they need to really make the push. They can make the playoffs. And honestly, I'm going to predict right now that they do. I do think they win these last 2 games. I think the Packers lose their last 2 games, and we end up seeing the Lions take that final wild card spot. I will say this, though. I don't expect them to win a playoff game because this isn't the same Detroit Lions team that we saw last year. And I genuinely believe they need to find somebody with the fire in a coaching role. I think they have it in a player role. I think St. Brown is a great leader. I think Jared Goff is a great leader. I just don't think they have it in terms of the play calling area. So I think in the offseason, you have to find somebody that is going to be that guy. That's going
With
to
the
be
game
that
on the
play caller.
line, they're not going to their superstars, which
No.
was surprising. I'm like, dude, you got St. Brown, you got Gibbs right here, and you're throwing to a receiver no one's ever heard of and forcing the game. And I'm like, okay. And like you said, I mean, they're going to get some help with Green Bay's injuries. But I mean, it's not going to be an easy battle because they get the Vikings this week, and then they have to finish off the season in Chicago, which a couple of those Chicago players could be riding the bench resting. But I mean, this was a big game that just really fell short.
And since we already brought up the Vikings, elephant in the room, are we ready to call it for the year? Are we done with JJ?
Looks like it.
Because a wrist injury, we want to talk about Tua being somebody with paper skin and glass bones. Does this kid have the physical ability to play quarterback? We may have the mental ability.
Yeah.
But does he have the physical ability to play quarterback? Can he not be injured? Or at least to the point where you have to be pulled off the field? Because now the Vikings have to go again to Max Brosmer. And again, no disrespect to Max, but is anybody expecting anything from Max Brosmer this week? So are we just going to throw JJ to the Wolves and just say it's time to draft somebody else? I hate to say it for Minnesota fans because I think a lot of people were hoping JJ could be the guy, but I just don't
bring
think
Cousins
it
back.
is. Maybe
That might be
Cousins back.
That
Maybe
might be a good one.
Maybe you just find one of these rookie quarterbacks this year that you have a little bit of faith in, and you just throw some money at him instead and have JJ be the backup for a year.
You get JJ for a couple more years on your rookie deal. It might be smart just to bring in a veteran type guy that can help the kid, I guess. I don't know, but he's injury prone for sure.
100%. And it's just gotten to the point where it's like, is this even worth investing in? Is it? Because if it's kind of like Carson Wentz. Even if he had the ability to have an MVP caliber season, is it even worth putting money into? Because the guy's going to get hurt. So it sucks to say, but I might have jumped off the JJ McCarthy train this weekend after seeing that injury with Brian Burns. And I'm like, no, there's no. And honestly, I feel for Vikings fans because, I mean, you guys heard me call them what I refer to them as during the baseball season. They're always that team that usually does well in the regular season, and then the playoffs come around, and no, they're just not there. So,
and a big shout out to the Raiders because they made a game out of it.
Yeah,
I thought for sure they were going to steal that
was
game.
a great one.
And I mean, Genty looked really good. And the other one was the Titans beating up on the beat up Chiefs, which
Another injury for the Chiefs, though,
another injury
losing.
with Gardner Minshew now torn his ACL. But the other one I was going to ask you, which I don't want to get into the game too much, but the Dolphins and the Bengals. Do you think that game saved Zach Taylor?
No,
Because that's
not at
what
all.
the headlines were all over after the game. I'm like, I don't think so, man.
No.
I think that hole is just too deep.
And honestly, I wouldn't even say that it saves Joe Burrow from being like wanting to play there. I think everyone's like, "Oh, Joe Burrow's back to having fun playing football again." No, he
Playing a
just took
depleted
on a
defense.
defense that wasn't prepared and
Yep.
can't stop a running back if they wanted to,
Yep.
and made a guy look absolutely incredible. And I mean, we can go down the line a lot of these games. Jacksonville pulling off the win
Woo.
against Denver.
Hell of a
I
win.
saw it coming, but I didn't think they would be this for real.
They look
And
good, man.
there's a chance they could be the AFC's #1 seed.
That
It's
is
weird
wild
to say,
and the
but
Panthers getting in the playoffs. I mean, that is just
yeah,
insane.
I'm gonna concede on that one.
I was gonna say
I'm gonna concede on that
we got to
one.
get your savings.
Well, thank God it's only $5 after the holidays. At this point, man, I mean, again, there's still a chance they could blow it all. It really is, because it's Carolina, and I will not say they are a good football team, because they're not a good football team. I'm sorry,
They're one of those teams that surprise people. I mean,
Yes.
I sure the hell I'll swallow it. I didn't think the Jaguars were for real.
No, neither did I. But look at where they are right now.
Jacoby, not Jacoby. Oh yeah, Jacoby Myers is fitting perfectly.
Yep.
Luckily, they locked him in for a couple more years. But this team looks scary, dude.
They look legit, and honestly, we still need to see what can happen in a playoff situation, though. I know Liam Cohen obviously has had history of winning in the playoffs, but we haven't seen it from Trevor yet. So let's see if he can get the most out of Trevor in a playoff format. I think he can, but we'll see what happens. But I'm interested to see how this AFC ends. With Denver losing in the offensive inconsistencies continuously looking like as they do. And honestly, the Patriots last night looked beatable too. And I'll explain why I think John Harbaugh should be fired. How do you have Derrick Henry run in a touchdown for you to give you an 11-point lead and then never give him the ball again? How? How? How does that happen? At this point, you don't have Lamar Jackson on the field at all. He hasn't been on the field since the first quarter. You've had Snoop Huntley, and you don't give the ball to Derrick Henry? Why? I know he had a fumble early in the game, but your message to him at the half should have been, get the hell over it, kid.
Yeah, shake it off.
Need you. We need you.
And I think that's a lot of coaches, veteran coaches.
Yes.
They're getting away from their superstars in key moments.
It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. And I don't know if you want to sit there and blame the offensive coordinator, but personally, I blame John Harbaugh.
Me too.
How? And honestly, I will blame John Harbaugh for squandering this entire team and the potential that they had when they signed Derrick Henry. He has squandered all of it. And that sucks for Baltimore fans. It really does. We got to take a break. We'll be back in about 5 on the other side with our guy Tyson Hayes. And then we'll be talking to our guy Snacks on the other side as well about the NBA. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. We are also streaming video every single weekday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just look up our Early Bird Special. You'll find it right there on most social media platforms. And we have our first guest, the day in-house, Tyson Hayes.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
Good
And
morning.
I understand we are waiting on somebody else as well who should be here momentarily.
This guy's so unprofessional. He should take this more serious. I can't understand. This guy's a bus driver by trade. You know what? He gets kids to school on time. Can you believe that?
Well, that's probably what he's doing then.
Weren't you late last time?
Let's not talk about that. You know, I was talking about being a professional here, and you're gonna jam me up right there. Yeah, this guy, I can't believe it. Clock out, Bobby.
It's all good. When he gets here, he'll be thrown in here. We can
If I let him, you know, I
Yeah,
haven't
you
made that
never know.
decision yet.
That's
I'm
true.
kind of frustrated right here.
Oh, well, you never know. Maybe we
yeah.
will. Maybe we'll just cut it out. We'll just do just Tyson.
He'll be here any second.
Sounds good. Sir, good to see you.
Nice to see you guys too, man.
Open mic
Crazy.
Mondays.
Yes.
Made you laugh Mondays.
Which
Everything going
one?
well.
Which one?
Which what?
Which firehouse?
Oh, so this week we're gonna come right back to Rosedale, and we're gonna keep going there. You know, I just wanted to test
Mix
it
it
out.
up.
I just wanted to
See,
test
I
it
told
out.
you. He heard you say that he wanted one at yours.
Yeah,
I
or
like
that
that
you
one.
wanted one at yours.
I like them both, but that one's closer.
Exactly. So he had to accommodate.
I did.
As he usually does. So go back to the Rosedale location tonight if you want to
Yes.
go check out Made You Laugh Mondays. I hear we
Uh-huh.
might have some special guests
Yeah.
in the house
Yeah.
It's
tonight.
gonna be a good night.
It's
I'll
gonna
just
be
say
a
that.
great night. And I would just say it's Christmas gifts, possibly plural, coming early for Made You Laugh Mondays. If you guys love comedy, if you've never even been to a show, tonight would be the night to come check it out. At
And
Made
let's
You
be
Laugh
honest,
Mondays.
most people are off this week because it is
Sure.
Christmas week. You don't want to
Mhm.
work on Christmas week.
I'm off at
Exactly.
9 o'clock, so
Are you
Hey,
really?
wrap this up. Come
Oh,
on.
that's right. You don't have
Oh,
Moneywise this week. That's
Bobby's
very
been
true.
Yeah, Bobby's off all the time. He's not even.
Is that Bobby right there? behind
Yeah,
us?
that's
Okay,
Bobby.
Fantastic.
You're not being
Bobby.
mugged.
What?
That's a wild
He's a good
statement.
guy. There he is.
Good
Bobby
day,
Wood.
sir.
He just came out. He just showed up behind
It
behind
got
Sparky
real
over there.
dark.
Well, I
That's
was
all
like, it's
quiet. I
either
was
for
like,
us or
Got
for
a shadow over my head.
Scott. I'm not 100% sure. So, sir, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Not a problem. I hear you were going to be part of the show tonight.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And you're a bus driver?
Yeah, I'm a school bus driver.
Nice.
Are you really?
Punctual.
Yeah,
Punctual.
what district are you?
Superintendent of schools.
Oh, okay. So did you get to deal with all the hooligans then?
Hey Tyson, if you can
Yeah,
lift
for
his
the
mic
most
up,
part.
you got him.
Yeah.
We're used to.
There you go.
There you go.
There
Kids
you
in
go.
here.
Now you can hear it a little bit better. So dealing with the kids and all that, like, do you keep your comedy clean then? Are you practicing all
He
your
said,
jokes
hell
with
no.
the kids?
No,
Not even
I
once?
actually
Come find
reference the
out.
kids in some of my jokes. So.
Fantastic.
I was gonna say,
Love that.
if you're working with kids, you gotta hold that back until after 5.
Can I just do a really quick proper introduction since he just got here?
Yes,
Ladies and gentlemen,
yes.
Bobby Ortiz Jr., this guy right here, he just won Laugh Bomb's set of the night like a week ago. So we had him booked on the show before he blew up and got set of the night that night. Where were you last night, Flappers?
Yeah, I was at
Dude, this
Flappers
guy's
last night.
Nice.
and he's all over the place killing it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So good
man.
luck for your kids
So
getting
up
to
and
school.
coming then in the comedic role or the comedic world, I take it. What
Yeah.
got you started in all of this?
Just life. Life took a weird turn, and I needed an outlet to express my feelings. So I just went to open mic one night, and I fell in love with
See,
it.
it's a success story right there that we tell all of y'all. Just go try it out one time. You never know what could happen. You could be a school bus driver turned into a comedian.
Yeah,
never know.
that's definitely a
That's the
go-to
goal.
of mine. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
School bus drivers turned into comedian.
That's
Chili's
awesome,
parking
dude.
lot. Like you guys just got to come check it out. There's a lot of stuff that some of the comics are laughing at right now. That
What?
you'll come to. Yeah, this guy's got some. He's got some trauma bonding that happens, and you end up loving the guy just as much as you do.
You have to expand now. We need to hear the story. What's going on here?
Okay,
I don't
well,
hang on.
for-
This is a
Radio's
family
not
friendly.
very-
Just
And
keep it
again,
clean.
keep it clean is all we ask.
No, for non-disclosure reasons. Just something happened at a Chili's parking lot in the Pacific Northwest. I can't mention.
And it
what
broke
happened.
Bobby's heart.
Yeah.
And scarred his memory, his eyes. We'll leave it at that. Come check him out at Made You Laugh Mondays.
Oh
bro.
my lord! And I also hear you're a Patriots fan, from what we understand.
Yeah, so I see 28-3 still resonates with your heart, huh?
A little bit, a little bit.
Yeah.
Look, man, we broke the curse this year. It's okay. We came back
Yeah.
from something pretty big. I think that everything's on the up and up. You guys, though, got bailed out last night by a man named John Harbaugh.
I wouldn't say bailed out, but I will say this though: the AFC comes through New England, LA.
Mm.
We will see We will see. I don't think they're going to be the ones fighting for it. I think it's going to be Jacksonville.
Maybe.
I think Jacksonville's got the proper formula to figure you guys out. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what Trevor Lawrence has.
It's true. I
Which
think
is
you guys,
a weird thing to say, right?
It really is.
I'm like, what? Are we talking
outside
about
of
the Jaguars?
outside of Head and Shoulders, I didn't think the guy really had much of anything. But you guys might have an MVP on your hands in this whole Drake May situation. You got to be happy about that.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Even though MVP, that's not our main focus right now.
Obviously.
Right?
Definitely want to bring back the titles back to the New England area. So that's definitely the goal for this year.
This is what's not fair. Patriot fans haven't felt the scorn of needing to rebuild yet.
The last 3 years.
That's not long enough, and you
Yeah,
know it.
According to whom?
Everybody
Standard.
else.
The last
That just-
20 years. 20 years with a couple years is not a whole lot of downtime, buddy. You guys need decades.
You got a Dolphins fan on the other side of the glass here who's been dying for a rebuild for
Hey,
15 years.
It happens.
15.
At
Mine
least.
like 40 years, but
Well,
think
I
it's
was giving you guys
72.
Tannehill and everything before that a little bit.
Tannehill
but
is
It's a
garbage.
stretch.
it's a little bit of a stretch.
It's like we were talking about Greg Kirk, because his son is a diehard Patriot fan as well. And a lot of these Patriot fans just don't know. They all think football started in 2000,
For
but there was
real.
years way
For real.
before then, like us,
The
that
Drew
we had to
Bledsoe
watch
years.
the 80s and the 90s. And I picked the Patriots in our early predictions. I thought the Patriots had a good team. I thought they had got a steal getting Vrabel. The Titans just shot themselves in the foot. I didn't understand the firing of Vrabel, but I think the Patriots have a team, and this year they got a better schedule than a lot of teams do. But I think they're gonna be scary, dude.
Well, again, all of that really stemming on if Drake May can show up in a playoff game. We haven't seen that yet.
And how big of the injury to the rookie running back?
Oh yeah, that's tough. Hopefully it's just a minor ding, but if it's a long-term situation,
But watch out for New England, dude. And
Yeah.
that's coming from a Dolphin fan.
I know
Yeah.
you have to see him twice a year. That's why you know it better than everybody else. But I mean, again, I just didn't expect the Patriots to be back to this level this quickly. I knew that Vrabel coming in was going to be great for them, but you as a fan couldn't have seen you guys being 12-3.
I've seen it. I can have receipts of the last year banging on the table. We winning at least 10 games minimum.
So were you one of those people that was fire Jared Mayo right now?
I didn't want him in the first place, but I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Fair.
But just remember him as a player. He wasn't really like that boisterous person.
True.
So I wanted Vrabel the year prior. I don't know what happened with that situation, but luckily we were able to get him in this year. Things definitely have turned around.
Well, I mean, and on the opposite side of this, would love to hear your thoughts, but what do you think about Bill Belichick kind of just being subpar in college?
See, God don't like ugly. And what he did to the Patriots the last 3 to 4 seasons, he should do some time for that. Put him in the same cell as P. Diddy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Nick Saban.
All those,
Yeah, him too.
I'm just saying, coming from a Dolphin fan, that crap that he brought into Miami
Man, that was for a couple of years that he turned into the greatest college football coach of all
shouldn't
time.
have ever happened.
I don't think anybody in Alabama would love that. But I mean, going into college, though, I think everybody kind of assumed Bill would at least have some sort of success.
No, see, his thing is he thinking, yeah, I had the success in the NFL. I'm gonna go to college. It's a lot easier. I got money backing me trying to get these players in. And the thing about younger players, you can't just come in and just talk to them any kind of way. Because when you turn 18, you kind of start feeling yourself, smelling yourself a little bit as a man. Like, you can't just talk to these grown men, to these younger men, like any type of way. So I think he's learning in a hard way that maybe his old coaching tactics doesn't work for these young kids, especially now since they making so much money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just said it. When it comes to money and you get some, younger kids,
And you're
ain't
making more
listening
than
to
that
him.
coach is right
Yeah.
now.
you ain't talking to me like that.
Exactly.
Hell no.
I mean,
But I will flip it the other side. Tyson's here. He's a Charger fan. I mean, what are you thinking? Herbert looked
amazing.
injured
Wow.
last
Yeah,
night.
no, he looked great.
all it
didn't
took
he?
is for you to end that entire bet between the
No,
two of us for him.
no,
to
this is
no,
what I came
no.
up with.
You came on
Listen,
this
I
show.
came up with a better bet.
Oh,
Okay,
here we
the
go.
bet is okay. So we do. I think if you have two quarterbacks that you're going head to head, and we didn't come up with a way to figure out how to measure who's better, right? So if they happen to play
We
each
said
other,
statistically. We
Well,
said
listen,
statistically.
they played each other head up. So whoever wins the head up quarterback,
Okay,
wins.
no. See, no.
Best record, and then the third
Nope.
component is all the stats, all
Nope.
the stuff that doesn't really matter.
Nope.
So I got 2 of 3.
Nope.
That's a
That
good
ain't
bet.
happening.
Yeah,
No,
well,
sir.
Herbert's doing great. I actually heard you on the way in talking really highly
Yes,
of
I
Justin
did.
Herbert.
I
and
gave
like
him
that.
the flowers
Yes,
that
sir.
he deserves because
Yes.
he's playing with a plate in his hand, and I didn't expect him to play good as a quarterback from here on out. But
He'll be fine.
He'll be
Little
fine.
help from Denver.
Well, Denver, shoot, I made a prediction in the beginning of the season. I said, hey, the Chargers, I'm not really stressing. They're gonna make the playoffs in wild card. Do you remember? And you guys were like,
No,
oh
it's fair.
boy,
No,
yeah.
it's fair.
I just
You did
didn't
say
have
that.
the right team. I had the Chiefs up there and the Broncos. I didn't have winning.
And how nice it was it to just see the Chiefs lose to the Titans.
Man.
I know it wasn't with their full 100%, but it was still
Doesn't
nice to look
matter.
over
Andy
at the
Reid
ticker.
and see,
Yeah, they're
see
losing to
his-
the Titans.
Can anybody even say the third stringer's name? It's Chris
Nope.
something. It's Chris. Oh, I remember that. But I do not feel for Chiefs fans whatsoever. I really don't. That's another franchise that I think is not really going to be seeing a rebuild as everybody wants them to.
Mhm.
But I mean, you guys have a shooting chance here at a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I would say.
We did since I've always felt that way since the beginning. I didn't really care if the Chiefs did
The
well.
Patriot fan here is shaking his head,
you
but
don't think so. Yeah, dude. We'll see.
it
We'll
depends
see.
who you get. Because if you have to face the Jaguars in the first round, I don't think you beat the Jags. But if you maybe play the Broncos, I could say you beat the Broncos.
Yeah, I think we have a chance at everybody. Any given Sunday. The thing that I don't like about this playoffs is it really stresses me out. Is the postseason when we come in from being a warm weather team in San Diego, and then we go to the East Coast and it's snowing outside. I think that's a
Pittsburgh.
disadvantage. Yeah, bro, that's such a disadvantage. It's like we're in San
Football,
Diego,
though.
palm trees.
You're in
I just
LA.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
You haven't been in San Diego for a couple years.
I still call them San Diego Chargers. Let's go.
And honestly, LA's been looking for an excuse to kick you out of there too. So
Bakersfield Chargers. Let's go, guys.
North
my
Dakota
God.
Chargers.
North Dakota
Your way.
Chargers. Well, I mean, Chicago is about to become the Illinois Chicago Bears.
Oh,
so,
really?
Well,
Yeah.
or no, it's Indiana. I'm
Indiana.
sorry, Indiana
Oh,
Chicago
dang.
Bears.
Oh, dang.
But
They're moving to Gary, Indiana. You know
that's
what that
the
is?
Real talk.
That's
No.
that's the rumor at the moment. But
Cue up the Jackson 5.
yeah,
Jesus. right?
Wow.
But no, I mean, I will give credit where it's due. He looked solid in this last game against the Cowboys, so I would at least give you guys a little bit of a better shot. You just have to play an actual playoff team
Have
in
you
order to
seen
actually.
the Cowboys defense this year?
Well, I mean, against the run, they looked good.
Historically bad against the
Yes.
Well, that's true too. But I mean,
I can go out there and give you 500. I ain't played football in 12 years.
oy. I mean, I'm trying to give you some flowers here, my friend. You guys won
I'll
a
take
game.
'em. Yeah.
Exactly.
What do
You guys won a game.
There's plenty of games left to win. We won a lot. We won a lot. Of
You
really
have.
important-
You've won a lot.
yeah.
But do you want to be the Minnesota Vikings though, or do you want to be the Kansas City Chiefs?
I want to be the San Diego Chargers, to be honest. San Diego Chargers. I want to be the. Are we talking?
Again, he's back in the past. Phillip Rivers
Hey.
doesn't play for you. He plays for the
Yeah.
Colts.
That's true. Now that's wild, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't
44.
touch on that.
44 years old, and he's taking on the San Francisco 49ers
Mhm,
tonight. We
mhm.
might see a man die on live television.
I wanted to say he looked good
No.
that first game, but he's out
I'm
there.
kind of with him. Let's.
I wanted
I
to.
think a
I
lot of
wanted
people
to.
wanted to say he looked good, but let's be honest. I'm
Come on
pretty
now.
sure once the rookie's ready, he's going to be the starting quarterback again.
Yeah, true.
I love Phillip Rivers, but I don't think he looks like Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, he looked like Brett Favre in the Wranglers commercial.
Late.
So, Bobby, are you local?
yeah, I'm here, Bakersfield.
Right on. You played sports?
Yeah, I played football at Stockdale High School. I went to BC for 2 weeks, ripped the inside of my leg, and career was done for.
How'd you do that?
I non-contact injury, which is crazy.
Oh.
I went to make a specific turn, felt the inside of my leg pop, and that was all she wrote.
Well, I mean, okay, that puts you in a pretty unique spot to talk about these then, especially since in football we've seen an influx of them. Like there seems to be happening way more often than they used to. Do you think there's a specific reason for that? Do you think it's kind of like the lifestyle they live, maybe?
Not necessarily lifestyle. I do know the turf is horrible for the lower
Mhm.
joints, and players they've been telling the league that hey, we need to put grass in these arenas and stadiums. But again, the league they don't care about the player safety.
No.
Never have, probably never will.
Mhm.
As long as they keep bringing in money. So, just the lower extremities and their bodies not really adapting to the turf, and also sometimes the workouts too. A lot of these players, they are more agile now, but they don't really take a beating like the older school players did back in
Fair.
the day, and their body built up that callus to withstand the long season.
See, that's what I said, especially when you take away as many of the preseason hitting
Mhm.
practices. I had a feeling that it was going to lead to more injuries because of that. Your body's not used to taking those hits like you used to. And I mean, we all played high school football, and you know how two-a-days goes. The beginning of the day, you're usually getting the body kicked out of you by getting hit with each other. Second half of the day is all the plays. And they do that on purpose. So your body gets used to that. So when you're going through the plays, you're already sore, and your body's like, okay, this is what I need to do to adapt to that kind of a thing. So I don't know. I hate seeing so many non-contact injuries these days, though, because they're all ACL and like major injuries. But you don't think there's anything they could do to kind of like change it, maybe besides obviously changing what they play on?
No, not really. Like I said, they got to bring back more physical football early on in the off season and preseason time of the year. That's really their only, I wouldn't say only safest bet, but that would help a lot.
I mean, it's 2025. You would think every game should be playing on the same surface.
Yeah.
How can we not all just agree on one? I really don't get it. Like, I know they're trying to work towards that now because I think the PA actually just voted on that this year. They're all going to go through and find like a specific list of grasses and turfs you can use, and they have to use those now.
They'll find a way to put a sponsor on it and make money out of it.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the NFL. It's a machine. But I mean, when it comes down to all these injuries, I mean, that's the number one thing comes to me is the playing surface. We've seen it. It happens a lot more in, Giants and the Jets where they play. And, it takes that golden boy, like, a Patrick Mahomes or something to get injured before they actually start opening their eyes. And I think it probably started with limiting practice sessions.
And you're right on that, because all of the talk really kicked up big when Rodgers went down. After the Jets traded for him in the first drive, he drops back and pops his ACL. And it's like, now what do we do? You just ruined the entire season. Because remember, we had like 4 or 5 mainstream games of all Jets games that didn't have any actual meaning to them anymore because Rodgers wasn't playing him at all. So I think you're right. That's really where it's all started. But not to get us out on a weird
but
tangent
you went
like
to Stockdale. You were an athlete, got hurt at BC.
Got hurt at BC, and then I went to Hollywood to become an actor.
Okay.
That lasted a year. Again, I was 18, 19. I was seeing a lot of things I probably shouldn't have seen at that young age.
Were you at Diddy parties? Be honest.
I didn't make it that far. I was outside at the gate trying to get in.
There you
go.
But
I'll do honest about it. I'll do anything. Just let me in.
Don't say that. Don't say that at the door. They'll let you in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It'll be the back door, but they'll let you in.
Yeah, for sure.
Remind me of that new Chappelle special on Netflix.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, it's good. I just watched it the other night.
Okay. He was talking about not being able to get to a Diddy party. He got a call and thought, I'm finally getting to a Diddy party.
I saw a clip that said he was defending Diddy in a way, but I get why. I mean, when you hear the story that Diddy was really the guy who tackled the guy at the Hollywood Bowl, it's like, okay, I kind of get why you back him a little bit. He at least saved your life and didn't ask you to, pay him back for it at any point in time.
But you tested out Hollywood.
I had a manager that didn't really work out between us. I tried to go back to school for a little bit. That wasn't working out because I didn't have the drive to be at school anymore. And tried to be a gamer on YouTube before the gaming world took off. Parents didn't really agree with it. They didn't really see the vision. Now I have a best friend who has over 13 million followers on YouTube, multi-millionaire, and we was gonna get started at the same time. But he kept going, and I stopped.
It's all about riding the wave when you can, man.
Got a day job working with adults with disabilities and behaviors, and I've been working in this field ever since. So
right on.
Nice. Atta boy.
Well, I mean, you still are doing very well for yourself in your own craft, and obviously you're up and coming in the comedic world, which is going to be great for you going forward, man. Do you have any like goals with the comedy world, like any specific spots you want to go hit?
My next couple places I want to go, I want to hit the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, the Comedy Store, of course, the Hollywood Improv. I just did Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco not too long ago.
Nice.
I've done a Laugh Factory in Chicago earlier this year. So I'm just trying to branch out and, make my presence be known throughout the whole West Coast.
You have a date for Laugh Factory, though, the one that you want to knock out.
2031.
2031?
Hey, that is
He's on the board.
That is on the board. He is on the board. That is all that matters, man.
Yeah, we'll see, because at the rate the world is going right now, who knows what's going to happen next.
Well, I mean, if you could jump into any of these streams at any point in time, I'm pretty sure that'll get you bolstered onto something.
I don't know.
I don't know if you want to get on Aiden Ross or Neons like Puka did.
I've heard some things about these streamers as well. That's not very pleasing if you really know the dark side of streaming.
Really?
Yeah.
There's probably a whole bunch of stuff we don't see behind the camera, dude. Like,
most of the time, but
there are some of them where I'm like, the way they treat their cameraman, I'm like, oh, that's not okay. Like, what the hell?
I mean, I've ran sound for some comedy shows in the past, and I was like all excited because this big comedian that I grew up watching came to town, and then like the way he talked to his staff and his crew. I was like,
Tyson.
really, dude?
No, sir, never.
I was like,
talking about your crew.
I'll throw out Pauly Shore. I mean, Pauly Shore was one of the most despicable people I've ever met, and I was like, what? Like, come on, man! It's the Wiz, man. It's Pauly Shore growing up, and I was all pumped, and like, never again. I like threw out the DVDs. I'm like, screw you.
It's like they say, never meet your heroes.
Serious.
You don't know what they're like. But I don't know. Joe Rogan's not like that. So.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Give him some
that
time.
I know of.
Yeah, give everybody a little time.
He'll have a Netflix documentary coming out in the next 20 years.
Oh, I think it's gonna be less than that, to be honest
for real?
with you.
There
are certain areas where I'm just like, there's no way you can get that big without something happening. You know what I mean?
Some
like,
scandal. Or
exactly. So we'll hear something. I hope it's nothing bad because I love Joe Rogan.
I mean, but what got you into comedy?
Well, okay, so back when I was 18, I remember there was an open mic at Timber back in the day.
Nice.
And I was like, hey, how do y'all sign up? I just come out, put your name. I'll put your name on the list. Never ended up going just because at the time I was kind of living in like fear of going up to making a fool of myself and not be able to recover from it. Because I've seen a lot of people go to open mics and fold and we don't ever see them again. I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
I know too many people in town. That's gonna be the talk of the town.
I didn't want to have to live this down.
I mean, we've talked to several comedians have, wasted the first couple of years just because they were nervous to get on stage. And I mean, how long ago was that?
I started last October the 26th, I believe, of last year. And honestly, the first person I talked to was Tyson after my set.
What Tyson? This Tyson?
This Tyson right here.
Is it clean enough to share the words of wisdom that you gave the guy or no?
I'm going to go ahead and just say, I told Bobby, keep coming back, right? That's all I said, something like that.
That's the Reader's Digest
we talked.
version.
I remember his first set.
My first set was off the cuffs. I had a totally different set going into it. Once I got on the mic, it just took over. And
your grandpa, remember?
My grandpa then led to my dad.
That's what we talked about.
Was it more of like you just lost it, or you just were like something happened and you just kept rolling?
I just kept rolling because I have this thing to where again, I grew up doing improv, so I can come up with stuff on the spot sometimes. And I just came up with like a small little premise and I just led from there.
Right.
And it's about, somebody working in the pharmaceutical industry. You know what I mean?
I think that's the best kind of comedy though, is improv nowadays. Because if you can do that, like, and just rethink your entire set, it makes you unique. I mean, I talked about it last time when Trevor was in here. If you have the same set every week, people are going to stop listening or coming to your show. But if you can do that, I think that's freaking amazing, man.
Yeah. It is, but it can sometimes
get you into trouble.
Yeah.
Stuff comes out
because some things might come out and in your mind it sounds a lot better, but once you actually say it, it's like
you realize, oh wait, that was an inside joke with my brother. Yeah, that's right. No one's gonna get that here.
Or that's not politically accepted anywhere. Not even. I just found that out with his. But Bobby's got a real talent for. He has.
Hold on now. You just found this out. What did you end up doing?
What's that? I'm sorry.
You said you said something non-politically
correct. No. When you said the things that Bobby could say, somebody it's like, not. Sometimes he can say some wild stuff. He swings for the fences. I love that about Bobby. But he
gotcha. I thought you were
talking
about you.
No, I'm a clean, perfectly good gentleman. Now this guy, on the other hand, is different. No, but he has jokes, and he can have a joke that it's the same joke, but he can find a different way around to get to it. And it's almost like he gets in this flow state and he just starts cooking on stage. And sometimes I have the light on in my hand. I'm about to light this guy right here. And it's just like, no, man, I can't take this off stage right now. I mean, I know I should, and I got to just like maybe wait a little bit longer because he's on this wave and everybody's riding it with him. And if that room upstairs is on this thing together, I don't want to stop it. And so there's a few guys that can put that together, and this guy's one of them.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So obviously with the improv background, do you think that makes you feel a little more comfortable now that you're
Oh yeah, for
getting on
sure.
stage?
When I was going to school, I was a communications major, doing public speaking and stuff. So that's also
boy.
helped too. And I grew up as a preacher's kid, so there's a lot of times I had to do not sermons, but speak in front of the congregation.
Mm.
So that's helped as well. So when I get up there, and like you said, once I'm in my zone, anything goes. So you might think I'm gonna do the same set, and out of nowhere, I'll catch a glimpse of something, or something come to mind, and
You
I'll
see something that
yeah,
goes a
pivot.
different way.
goes a
Pivot,
totally
Well, that
different way.
just goes back to me because I've talked to a lot of comedians, and we'll go to Anthony. He talked about going to open mics for the first 2 years, and he was so nervous to get on stage, and finally he just did it. Now you were talking about in the beginning, you were more nervous about bombing.
Mhm.
So now that you get more comfortable, I mean, you obviously have an awesome background to do what you're doing right now. Now, does that still the voices in the back still talking,
Nah,
talk to you before you go
really, but this has been some times to where I can feel myself starting to
on?
panic,
Done his tear.
and that fight or flight mode, goes into effect. But I've gotten to the point to where I just don't care anymore. Thanks to
Right.
Tyson, he's helped me a lot with
Nice.
that. To just not care and just do your set, and if people laugh, they laugh. If they don't, oh well, maybe the jokes wasn't for you.
Brush it
Right,
off.
exactly.
Exactly. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna have to get out there, dude.
Come tonight. It's
100%.
gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a
And
special night.
To potential special guests, we can't tell you who it is.
We got one right here,
Oh, no.
man.
I know. we
Well,
got 'em
I'm
out.
looking forward to seeing Bobby.
unfortunately, I won't be there tonight.
Oh, never mind. I'm out then.
I have another hosting gig tonight.
Nice.
See, he's
So-
growing too big. That's
I
what
know.
it is.
Can't even
He's
contain this
growing
guy.
his wings and getting ready to fly.
But any other Monday, I'm there for sure. You'll
Okay.
see me there any other Monday.
Fantastic.
And are you-
and he's also an actor. He just touched a little bit ago. He said for a little while I
Yeah.
went to Hollywood and acted. You're still in the Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah,
He's gonna be. Go ahead.
I'm dusting off my cobwebs in the acting scene as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in the starring role of this independent film called Next Lifetime. So right now we're getting the last little touches together,
Mhm.
and we should be shooting pretty soon in the next couple of months. We're aiming for Atlanta, if not somewhere in New York.
Okay.
That's cool stuff. I
Fantastic,
think.
man.
That's
That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
That's what you get at Major
Mhm.
Left Mondays. It's freaking actors, bus drivers, Patriots fans, all wrapped up in one.
Everything you need.
Yeah.
Are there any other movies, real quick, that you've been in that we could maybe check out? Not really.
He said, "Don't check it out."
You ever
No.
seen Eddie Murphy? Those are good movies. But what do you think you've been in?
No, the other movies
That's tough.
I've been in, I can't say on the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It is a different kind of movie scene. Gentlemen, we have run out of time. We're going to have to end on that note.
Run.
Thank you guys so much, Bobby and Tyson. You can check them out at Made You Laugh Mondays every single Monday at Firehouse, now on Rosedale, right?
Rosedale and Callaway. Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for joining us so
Thank
much. We
you.
really
All right,
appreciate it.
thanks for having
We
me,
got
for
to take a
sure.
break real quick. We'll get to our NBA talk on the other side with our guys Snacks. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. is available on Mondays here in the next couple days. But I'm pretty sure we are going to be talking entertainment with one of the best here in the Kern County area. We'll be getting to all things Stranger Things, plus that incredible Welcome to Derry ending.
And
So much fun.
Avatar came out this last weekend, which I got to go check out. But speaking of the best,
But yes, we have the best referee here locally with us, and that is our guy Snacks. Talk all things NBA. The NBA Cup was last week. We didn't get a chance to talk to him due to our faulty phone lines, which have been fixed. So thank goodness for that. Sir, can you hear us?
Hear you loud and proud and clear.
Fantastic. Thank goodness. I was worried this wasn't
one
gonna work
thing is
today.
working this morning.
I know. That's why I was like, God, please have this work.
Hey,
Sir,
welcome to radio.
good
Right?
to hear from you, my friend, as always. Let's talk NBA Cup a little bit since I didn't get a chance to talk to you last week, or we didn't get a chance to talk to you. I apologize. Spurs ended up losing that game to the Knicks. You kind of saw this coming, though. I think that you were the first one to say that the Knicks already had it. They just needed to be able to put it together. Do you think that that got them anywhere closer to an NBA Finals appearance?
Yeah, I stick with my same verbiage. I mean, as long as they stay healthy, I can see them in the finals coming out of the East. Another team that looks good with chemistry and all. That's what you're going to hear me talk about chemistry all the time, because after playing the game and then seeing it week in and week out and night in and night out, it's really what it boils down to. What team has the chemistry and what team can stay healthy. And I think that's always been their crutch down the stretch for the Knicks is they can never stay healthy, or the dudes are dead dog tired because Thibodeau was just playing them all year. So
Right.
I think their new coach is doing a better job of, time management with them. And to me, they're looking good for the games that I saw. And I honestly, I only get a chance to check out a lot of games, but when I do get home, I try and, catch the repeats. And from what I see, them and the OKC look like the two best teams right now that will meet up in the finals.
So I was just about to ask that, though, because personally, I keep watching the Spurs team. Me and Sparky have talked about it many times. I'm impressed with what I see from Wemby and Castle and this great team. Do you think there's any chance the Spurs end up being that team out of the West this year?
No, it'd have to be a shocker. I still give it to OKC because they've been doing it. Their chemistry has lasted longer. I think the Spurs will, if they can stay together, I think they will eventually be. But I think for like the next year or two, it's going to be OKC.
I
Most
think
definitely in the Western Conference Finals.
I was more surprised that they were able to get into the Cup with that surprising win. And I think, like you said, I mean, they're building something special for the future. And I think it was just more of a surprise that they got there that quick. Obviously, it's going to take more because it's going to have to be, beating OKC in a series, which I don't think there's anybody in the NBA that can beat OKC in a series. But, I mean, some of these teams just in the last week or so, I mean, the Timberwolves are looking good. The Boston Celtics are looking
Fantastic.
good. I mean, is there any of that a big surprise to you?
Celtics, yes. Timberwolves, no. I think anytime you got Anthony Edwards, not Davis, Edwards, on your team, you got a chance. Because he's a scorer, but he's also he has a basketball IQ, so you can build around him. You can just put pieces around him and be pretty good. But the other team just left my head. What was the other team?
The Timberwolves.
No.
The Celtics.
Yeah, Celtics are surprised to me because I just felt like they needed Justin Taylor. But again, we talk about this all the time, or I mention all the time. Sometimes you see your true team when your best player is not on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think seeing that right now for them is really good. What can we be without our star player?
Well, sorry not to cut you off, but doesn't this bolster Brown into that star player category at any point in time? Or are we all just going to ignore that he has been that dude for them? I mean, not to say that you ignore that, but it's more of like, I keep seeing that everybody is so shocked about the Celtics, but it's like, I think we all forget that Jaden had to do this in the past when Jalen went down. Or when Jason went down, I apologize. And honestly, I think you said it right there, is that I think we're seeing the best of the Celtics without Tatum because Brown is playing at this level.
Yeah, and I think people are looking at it more as, okay, you got a star and then you got a superstar. Jason Tatum's a superstar. Jaylen Brown is the star. Yes, Jaylen Brown is, and he's been all-star. So, I mean, again, he's not lacking in minutes or being able to score or put a team around him, but it's that superstar that gets you over the hump. And I think that's what, when people have this conversation, I think that's kind of what they're going towards. And they don't have their superstar. Yes, they have their star, but they don't have their superstar. And again, without having your superstar, you still get to see what you look like without your superstar. If you can look this good without, I mean, and then your superstar has the chance to sit out and see, okay, when I come back, how can I insert my stuff not to mess anything up? If any of this up when I get back, because it shouldn't be all about me, because they've created a groove. How do I fit my stuff into a groove? And if you're a true superstar and you're a really good player, you can figure that out.
Joe, keeping it local, we've kind of cornered the Timberwolves, the Celtics, the Knicks, OKC, but just in the last couple of weeks, it seems like the Lakers, even the Warriors, are kind of hitting that. I don't know if it's just because they're an older type squad, but they're playing 500 basketball. And I know it's really, really early in the season, but is there something you think one of these teams or both will actually go after before the trade deadline?
I will say for both, if they don't find a way to get younger, they won't go too far in the playoffs. The Warriors are old, Lakers are old. Luka doesn't play any defense, and there's at times seems to be a mix up with LeBron and JJ. LeBron doing his own thing on the floor, JJ trying to coach a whole different way, a whole different team. So, in the Warriors, I mean, and again, you never know with Steph.
Right.
As long as you got Steph Curry on the floor, anything can happen. But again, I don't see them staying healthy long enough to go that deep in the playoffs like the other teams that we mentioned. And the other teams that we mentioned are just giving us better basketball right now. If you really watch them, they're playing basketball. They're moving the ball. They're actually running offense. They're not just 4 out, 1 in, come set a high screen and make a play. Like, you're actually watching basketball. And I think that's why fans are having a hard time. As good as OKC is, they're having a hard time labeling them as that team right now, because we're forced to watch basketball. And it's not like a run and gun, up and down type of style AAU basketball. This is like really FIBA style type of basketball. And I think that's why they win it so much, because other coaches in the league haven't figured out how to game plan around them, because they're actually playing basketball.
Well, I know Burdick's got a couple more things. My last thing I wanted to bring up with you, which one is a big basketball fan. You know, I'm not sold on the whole NBA Cup, blah, 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 but I will say that we got some better basketball in December, which we usually don't get. And I will say that, you know, it was very entertaining, whether it was the NBA Cup championship or just having healthy guys playing full team basketball. But bringing up the trade deadline, I know the big headlines lately has been the Giannis talk. We've talked about it. But do you think this Giannis trade talk is pretty much over for this season? And the last one I had is, do you think Chris Paul gets his offer or trade before because I know it was officially he could be traded as the December 15th.
Yep.
Now we're a week past it, and he's still looking for a squad.
I think Giannis has a better chance. But I would, if I was anybody, I would wait to the end of the year to deal with Giannis, because now you're trying to bring a superstar into a team that has already built their chemistry to go the rest of the way. And then where would you put him? Because if you take Giannis somewhere, you're going to have to break up the monotony of the team. You're going to have to move pieces around. Chris Paul, I think Chris Paul should just call it. Yes, I know this is last year. He's retiring. But the way it ended is you just got to just take that bullet and just walk away with it.
That one's the sad part, man, because, you know, all the years in his history in basketball, now the final tour, and it's like, is it over?
Well, yeah, that's the sucky part about it, because it's like, man, it had to end like this, but listening to the news around it, it's like, oh, well, kind of see why, you know.
Exactly. And honestly, I think that's the reason why we haven't seen him moved yet, or at least the team hasn't been eager to find a spot for him, is because of everything that's happened afterwards, all the negative press that the Clippers are getting right now because of it. They may just be scorned against Chris Paul just because of that alone, but I don't know. I hope he finds a spot where he can actually get a shot for a ring. I've been one of the only people saying, or at least from my vantage point, saying that he should get traded to the Thunder or the Spurs again or something, just to give him a shot. Real quick, though, before we let you go, my friend, I just wanted to bounce this off you and see what your thoughts were. Since we already talked about FIBA, and the way basketball is being played these days. It was announced this morning that the NBA and FIBA are working to create a basketball league in Europe starting in 2027. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's incredible. I think we will finally be able to see the actual game of basketball, how it's supposed to be played, because that's how they play it. That's when we watch the Olympics and the U.S. is having a hard time beating some of these things. That's because we don't guard that style of offense ever. We just get the ball off the rim, go pick it up, give the ball to we can't find anything, find the best player, go score. These guys are moving the ball, doing back screens, double screens, getting the ball down the post. It's a lot more physical. And so I think it'll help the fan base as far as watching basketball again. And so I actually like it.
And I agree with you. And honestly, I wanted to float this to both of you and Sparky to see your thoughts on this, but I think this could potentially be the answer to the All-Star game problem we've been having. Because if you can now create an all NBA team against an all Euro team in terms of the Euro League, I think this creates a whole new area that the NBA could really use to make the All-Star game exciting again. Instead of having the All-Star, the 3-point shooting contest against just NBA players, now you're getting NBA and Europeans. And it's more of a competitive nature.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the thing about the All-Star game, it just takes them playing hard. That's really what it is. And going back to Sparky when he was talking about earlier with the cup, one reason I like the cup is because the cup is actually more exciting to watch than the NBA Finals. And because I think the style of how it happens, they actually have a semifinals. You don't have to go through all these weeks of 7 games. No, this is a game. This is the best. Figure it out in one game. So that's why I like the cup, and I like this whole idea. It should have been. I agree with you. We should have been had FIBA versus the NBA All-Star game, because FIBA, I guarantee you, they're gonna take the floor like it's a damn Olympic game.
Right, exactly. And when you
now you have to play.
When you bring that competitive nature to the game again, it just creates a whole new level to it. And you're right, like NBA players can't just waltz into this thinking, oh, we're gonna just crush these guys. So it's gonna create a rivalry between the two teams, which I think would be great for the All-Star game, personally. But
yeah, I love it.
I love the idea, but we have run out of time, my friend. Thank you so much for yours, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, brother.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks to you guys.
Let's take a break real quick. We will get to all of our miscellaneous news and notes on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk.
Gary Hoey?
Yes.
Nice.
Ho ho hoey.
If you have not checked out this, if you're a metal fan and you haven't checked out this Christmas album, highly recommend it. It's awesome.
Hoey is awesome.
Gary Hoey is one of the best, man. It really is.
And I'm not big on Christmas music, but
Honestly, you could play anything Gary Hoey. You could play anything JD McPherson. I love the Sox album. I thought that was fantastic. But yeah, I play enough of it on the other station to get enough for my lifetime. And then, of course, Wham. You can always play
hell
Wham.
no.
Wham. Oh, that's where they got the exclamation
way.
point, Sparky. Wham. Anyway, sorry. Real quick. Okay, this is the Early Bird Special right here, KGEO Sports Talk. Thank you guys for joining us on this Monday. We appreciate it. Hope you guys have a very happy holiday. We are going to be dark on Christmas and the day after Christmas. We will not be here
The
on
federal
Friday.
government is actually voting to make Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas a federal government shut-off holiday.
Ooh.
Which,
Well, that
which
won't
I
help.
take it off anyway, but
Yeah, see, that won't help us on the radio
not
side
this year,
But
but,
I mean, it is what it is.
big shout out to Bobby Ortiz
Yes.
and Tyson Hayes, as well as Snacks. They all kick butt. And tomorrow we'll kick it off with Andrew Boydston and our boy 24KG talking a little wrestling. And before we get into wrestling, we have a couple texts I want to bounce off you. The
Let's get
first
those.
one says, I watch as many bowl games when I'm home that I can. And I can't do another tournament. There's the FCS D2, D3 playoffs. FCS championship should be good between Montana State versus Illinois State. The next one says, I'm here for the John Harbaugh slander. And I asked him, well, who would you rather have? He said, I'm leaning towards the Brian Flores hype train. Ravens need a no-nonsense coach that isn't worried about being buddies with the players and the staff.
Again, you guys heard me last week say Brian Flores for either Baltimore or Miami would be fantastic pickups. I more likely am on the side of the Baltimore Ravens lineup, to be honest. But slander, let's be fair here. I have been a huge Harbaugh fan up until just this year because I genuinely am starting to believe it's just time. It has been time. Like, you've seen this happen time and time again in many, many teams, franchises. I'm sorry, many, many franchises' histories. I apologize. It just sometimes you have to fire that one coach and find the guy that's going to get you over the hump. It's just,
you can call it slander for me. I hate the Harbaughs. So
it is what it is.
The last one says, with the Steelers win over Detroit yesterday, do we finally see a first round win?
That is the big question. And honestly, I would like to say yes, but it would take a lot from Aaron Rodgers himself. What we're going to see punishment-wise for DK Metcalf, too, because that is not just going to be glanced over by the NFL. He will be seeing at least a suspension of 1 to maybe 2 games because this isn't the first time he's acted out. Maybe against a fan it is, but he has a history now and a well-known just, I don't know, irresponsibility on the field. He gets hot-headed. I don't know how else to put it.
Hot-headed, that's the word.
It's just, you can't do that. You just can't. You can't get into it with fans just as you can't get it with players.
I know Ocho Cinco came out after the game saying after he talked to DK and he understood why he did it. It doesn't matter what he said. It's words. I get it. But you're a professional athlete. You can't swing on people in the audience.
No, exactly.
You just can't do it.
What he said could definitely absolve a lot of blame. I'm not going to sit there and say it doesn't matter what he said. Not that he's trying to sit here and demean it at all, but it's more of, you still can't do it. I mean, he can call you every name in the book, but you can't swing on a guy. I'm sorry. It's not how it works. And then real quick, the world of wrestling was turned on its head over the weekend. Not only with that AAA pay-per-view, which was fantastic. Go watch it on YouTube. It is so much fun to watch. Dom lost to his father, Ray, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. But former NXT champion showing up at a different promotion and picking a fight with a Fatu member.
Who?
Zilla. This kid, I'm telling you, Ricky Saints showed up over the weekend at Reality of Wrestling and picked a fight with one Zilla Fatu, the family member and son of now deceased Umaga. We are going to see another Bloodline member most likely join the WWE ranks here in the next couple weeks, if
That's
not
what we needed.
tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. We'll talk to our guy KG about all things wrestling tomorrow as well. And our guy Boydston, Colt fan, will be in here talking about the Colts win over the 49ers? We'll find out tonight. Monday Night Football. Until then, we got to get out of the way for the great Rich Eisen. Sparky, let's get out of here.